love this event. It's one of my highlights of my calendar, mainly because it's such a good opportunity to find out new things, to get a sense about where employer branding is around the world, and such an amazing opportunity to meet with interesting people who've always got something new to say. I learn a whole load, and I'd recommend it to anybody who was thinking about what's the future of employer branding going to be.
This is employer branding practitioners from all around the world, and people at all parts of their employer branding practice and journey. And so it's exciting to share journeys and exciting to learn from one another. It is the largest gathering of employer branding practitioners globally, and that in and of itself is thrilling.
Of course, it's unbelievable, but also we meet a lot of experts from all around the world. People have great energy, people are adding value all of the time. It's a great place for networking. We get amazing speakers on stage. It's absolutely the place to be when it comes to employer branding.
So employer branding is new and it's going to evolve in the next few years, right? And we know that, we're always learning. But the one thing for Accenture is that we need to think about the capability we have, how we bring that together, and how we then reflect a seamless journey. So I think the evolution's definitely going to be within our own capability, but I think we also need to look to the market for that and how the talent market is evolving. So we need to respond to that. So it's a bit of both. Evolution on the inside and evolution on the outside.
Data has been a bit of a holy grail in employer brand, and I think we're finally starting to get to a point where we're able to identify the data that really has an impact on the business. We need to get better at sharing that.
We see employer branding evolving within Salesforce, really getting into more personalized marketing and trying to speak more directly to all the different types of employees that we have, whether that's in engineering or sales or the back office functions, in the many, many locations where we operate around the world. We think it's all about targeting down to the persona and really speaking to all the different types of audiences about why we're a great place to work. Not just that we are a great place to work, but why for those particular personas.
The key messages that I shared in my presentation today was that you really need to work as not just an employer brand team, but across the entire company to really get the entire company involved in employer branding. That you really need to stay true to who you are as a company, even when attracting talent that's different than what you would normally attract. And that you need to have a lot of fun doing it, so that you need to also make sure that everything you're putting out there isn't too serious.
I think one was for organisations to look within themselves and their branding message. And what that really entails, what I mean by that, is ultimately your mission, your vision, your cultural perception by your employees is really what kind of feeds into your brand. And that's really the starting point for any employer brand.
The key messages I want to get across today was how do you actually bring it into a simplified structure. We saw so many different case studies today, and what I wanted to get across is that if we can build models around this thinking, it's going to help us to be able to strategize inside. So I talked about the employer branding ecosystem model. So thinking beyond just employer branding as a recruitment function. Employer branding is not a HR function, it's not a recruitment function, it's not a communications function or marketing function. Employer branding is a business function. And that message got through today with the case studies that we saw from the Googles and SAP and Salesforce and Adidas Group. So I'm inspired by just how far the industry's come. And then the second model was the employer branding business model, which integrates the consumer branding activities with the employer branding activities. So I just wanted to distill the whole of today into those two models to be able to give them something to move forward with.
This World Employer Brand event is it's such a unique opportunity to meet so many people from the industry, and it's a really interesting industry with so many different experiences, so many different stories. So to be able to get together socially, learn from leaders around the world on sort of their employer brand strategy, it really is just unique, and it's certainly worth flying all the way from New Zealand for, and I'll definitely be back again.